Hey guys, welcome to my weekly Tavern Brawl videos. Last week was the first time that I didn't upload a Tavern Brawl video, but it was for the third time the Spider Tavern Brawl, and I thought it's really not that interesting to make a video about that again. I think it can make sense to make a video of the old one again, because normally I sharing my first impressions of the Tavern Brawls, and then when I played it the second time I know a little more things about it, but then when I have to play it the third time there's nothing new I can say. I can just play, and I think this is boring. Therefore I decided not to make a new video. And I think I will also do it with the other Tavern Brawls, which we have seen at least twice. But enough about the last week. This week's Tavern Brawl is actually quite interesting. Probably you know already. Sorry. What is going on this week, and we have a co-op Tavern Brawl. Means we have one big guy in the middle. It's a minion which is switching the side each turn, and you and your opponent, you have to play together to kill him, and it's quite funny. You have a lot of healing stuff. You have a lot of minions which in a normal match would have a disadvantage, but since you're playing together, it's actually an advantage, and so the value of the cards are way higher. I would say we start here. We toss everything just to get something cheaper, which we can use. Bulwark for Dragon in the starting hand is it's not that bad. If you can, at least you can grow. But usually you shouldn't mulligan for it. Just now we have him, and then maybe later we can play something big. This is a guy, and he has 4 different spells. So he starts with 2 attack, 94 health, and this is one of the spells that he is stealing his attack damage to 3 golds, and another one is that he attacks both heroes with his attack damage. He can gain attack, which is one of the worst for us, because as long as his health attack is really low, it's not so bad for us. And then he has Assassinate. So this one is one of the cards I mentioned. Is actually has a huge. It has really good stats, but a huge drawback. But healing us for 5 is actually not a drawback anymore. Therefore, this is pretty good. I could have attacked here with my 1/1 minion, but it actually doesn't make any sense to just deal 1 damage, and also because he has the spell we saw already, where he is dealing damage to different minions, and then it's better or at least the probability is higher that he hits something small than just hitting something small instead of something else. And this is also one of the things I'm still struggling with. I don't know from which point on, or what is worse to attack with. Shall I deal the 3 damage now, or shall I leave it as a target for his spell? I mean, the thing is, if he doesn't hit this one, he will hit something else, or he will hit phase, which is in the beginning okay, later it's pretty bad. And if he doesn't hit it, I can deal the damage later anyway. So that's why I actually try to save the minions on the board, and it's also good because if your board is empty, you cannot use your spells, and if you just put a minion on the board and then use a spell to buff it exactly that turn, yeah, it might get assassinated, and then you get nothing out of it, which is, you know, it's pretty bad. So let's check our options here. We could play Stalag or Dancing Swords and Shielded Minibot. So what we can go for Blessing of Might, Blessing of Wisdom next turn. Oh wait, we could just do it here with Hand of Protection. Oh, I will wait. Oh, for some reason he is always hitting the best minions. Huh.
How many fingers do you see?
I think I will just give this one Divine Shield and play Reinforce. The thing is, if I could use Seal of Champion, just to use it for the Holy Champion. It's good when he plays the thing with the bombs, but it's bad when he plays Assassinate. That's also why when you play spells, you should see that you not just put it on one guy. So you should divide the spells between different minions. So this guy got actually pretty big, which is pretty good with the Garrison Commander. I think attacking for 11, which it's pretty good and definitely worth it. 10, so we should play something before we attack again. And I like to give her the Divine Shield. I want to play the Refreshment Window as well, and now we have a situation where our board is full, which can cause huge trouble because he wouldn't have any space to get on our board. Then he would destroy everything immediately, and really don't want that. So I think it was good that I was using the Refreshment Vendor, otherwise I would have been below 10, and here's a double heal. So maybe it was not that necessary, but I think also all the other plays are not that much better than this. Oh, the Lawwalker show. In a situation where I can... Wait, this is... Oh, this is pretty nice.
jade serpent guide you.
Unworthy.
Oh no, we can just play the bananas here. Then play the Seal of Champion on this guy. Playing also the Holy Wizard. I forgot it. And then Divine Shield on this guy. Just in case he plays a spell with the bombs. Double light world is pretty nice. Oh yeah, now he should use the spells he has to give everything back. He's now in a quite comfortable situation. Next turn he play kill the Lawwalker. Yeah, it's one. It's his 5th spell he has, but this means we gain another turn. And we got a really good stuff out of it. Just trading our or copying our spells, and we can here attack again, playing the bananas.
This is my responsibility. Reporting for duty.
I think the 7/7 here is good enough. And I use the Hand of... Yeah, use it to protect him. And next turn, if he's not playing Assassinate again, I think we're in a real good situation that we can maybe already end the game. Oh, that's nice. Oh, Folgendes der Leg also works. Because they're pretty nice and so that's it. We won this game. I think Leroy will do his best.
In the light's name. Summoning portal open.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't have so much time today, and I also think that more or less every interesting, yeah, I address every interesting part of the game. And it's also nice to keep it short, so then people doesn't get bored and so on. And so therefore I would like to end with the game, but I will give a small conclusion about it. So first of all, it's really interesting to play. The cooperation aspect makes a lot of fun, and it's yeah, but you need someone who is playing quite good, or actually knows what he does. If you have someone, you're playing Paladin and the other one is Priest and he's just healing himself the whole time, you can just concede, because it doesn't make any sense. So that's, yeah, okay, but this can happen, but still it's something completely new, and therefore it's really, really interesting. And I would say that Blizzard did a really good job just in yeah, offering us such a way of playing. And to the brawl itself, yeah, I don't know, don't waste all your minions, don't just let them run inside the guy, especially if they just deal a little 1 or 2 attack or so. He's playing this bomb spell a lot of times, and then it's good to have some really weak targets. I think it's better to maybe just lose 1, 2 guys on the board and doesn't make, or don't do 2, 3 or whatever damage. This is better not to do it, but then doesn't get all the damage in the face. Yeah, and the thing is, if those minions, so either he will hit them, but then he won't hit other minions which maybe are stronger, so, or he wouldn't hit your face in the beginning. It's maybe not so important if he hits your face for 2 or 4, it's okay, but later it can be a huge problem. Therefore, I would recommend really to keep the small minions. From which attack on, or how many you should keep, or what is worse to attack, I'm not so sure about this yet. It also depends maybe on the yeah, if you have a death rattle, for example, with dancing swords can make sense to attack quite early, just to give your opponent a card draw. So I think this is one of the difficulties to understand, which you should keep on the board. And the other thing is also that by keeping things on the board, it's more unlikely that he can clear your board. And what I've seen a lot of times is that people play minions, or yeah, they play minions and they buff minions with different spells, and then you see assassinate, and all the buffs are worthless. So it's better to have something on the board, then buff this guy, maybe then giving it divine shield, and then go attack it. Giving it the divine shield before can make sense to prevent it from the bomb spell, but if you place assassinate, then the divine shield was for nothing. Yeah, and you should also see that when you buff stuff on the board, you should not buff one guy, make it really big, then, because also the divine shield is not protecting it because of the assassinate. You should buff different minions, so if one get killed, you still have the other buffs in play. Yeah, so try to use buffs when you actually can use them immediately. It means you want to attack. Also, when you buff your opponents, it can be also a problem if you make the minion of your opponent strong. He plays assassinate and it's worth nothing. It can make sense, sometimes not. The best thing is always to buff your stuff. Only what you should consider is if you buff, or if you maybe play Blessing of Kings, and your minion would still die because of 5, 6, 7 health it would have after the buff. It's not enough to survive one attack, but your opponent has one with 5 health, then the buff would bring him to 9 health, and he could, or at least has a chance to attack twice. Then it could also make sense to buff the opponent's ones. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, that is situational. And yeah, the other thing is you should watch out a little bit about the healing stuff. You really take care also of the health of your opponent, because if he's losing, you're losing as well. So it doesn't make sense to be greedy or selfish or so. That it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and what we saw here is that the low rocket show can be really amazing. So I think it's a mistake to play him too early when you cannot give your opponent something. I don't know if there's a rule, but usually when you play it, yeah, then you can play some spells, and then your opponent can play some spells, and afterwards the guy in the middle is playing the kill the low walker spell. So he will just have the turn he's played, he's on the board, and the turn of the opponent or your partner. So when you play it, you should make sure that you can also put give him a lot of stuff. It would be amazing if you could use also Miller's Mana Storm, but I think they are not in the same hand, and therefore it's not possible. Otherwise, would be amazing. So yeah, something else. Yeah, I really think this is the main things. Keep some stuff on the board. Just don't attack with everything. Yeah, try to make more than one minion strong. And also really play together. This is really the case. If everyone is just playing for himself, I'm sure it is in 99.9 cases not possible to win, even if you're yeah, if you're really a decent player. Yeah, so now I'm also finished with my conclusion, therefore I'm also finished with my whole video. Yeah, I think this was a nice game I played, which yeah, which showed how it is possible to kill the Mechazod, and I'm looking forward to play a few more of these games, and I really hope that you guys also enjoying the Tavern Brawl as much as I do. And yeah, I'm also looking forward already to the next Tavern Brawl, making a new video for you guys, and I would be glad if you also take a look at my future videos. Bye.